Good afternoon. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. It's a special honor and pleasure to be here today. I'm going to talk about the creative economy in the Korean context and as a tool to support the creative economy, how to innovate existing innovation system, especially S&T innovation systems. My presentation will basically involve two parts. First, let me outline for you the background and the direction points of creative economy in Korean context. Then I'll spell out the major innovation issues we have taken into consideration. As you see on the slide, the Korean situation in 21st century has coping with internal and external challenges and risks. First, in terms of external challenges, worldwide economic recession is continuing, and frequent natural disasters due to environment degradation is also persistent. On the other hand, internal problems, the economic stagnation is likely to continue, and growing income disparity and the uncertainty over North Korea is continuing also. So, in response to the external and internal environmental challenge, we need to restructure the existing innovation system. Another aspect, the Korean economy is coping with its rapid and widespread future trends. The future society will see a diversification and specialization of industrial and economic demand. It is expected that the structural change of population, income, society and culture, and globalization and rapid technological change will deepen and widen diversification and specialization of industrial and economic trend. On the background mentioned before, Korean society is facing some dilemma. Possibilities of stagnation is becoming persistent. Also, growing income inequality and increasing demand for welfare is increasing rapidly. The other fact, issues over the accountability of science and technology is increasing. Finally, increasing risk in the international relationship are big problematic situation also. So, we need to shift the paradigm of a creative economy in order to ensure sustainable growth and welfare escalating demand. As a response to those challenges and dilemma, Korean new government suggested new concept, creative economy. According to the government report, creative economy is defined as creating new markets and strengthening existing industries by increasing creativity and imagination to science and technology and ICT. The process to bring the concept and the vision into reality can be summarized as follows. First, each actors, such as individual, business, government, civil society, can make creative asset with fostering imagination, creativity, science, and ICTs. And then the creative asset could make creating new markets and strengthening the existing industries if the entrepreneurship and technological convergence is successfully added in. And finally, if the market is working on the fair competition with globalization, then we can create new additional good jobs and a lot of venture, global scale, global wide ventures. Again, according to the MSIP report, MSIP is an acronym of Ministry of Science, ICT, and Future Planning. The MSIP suggests 5 strategies to bring into their vision into reality. Fostering the environment for creative economy, enhancing the national capability for R&D and innovation, developing software and contents into major industries, increasing international cooperation and globalization, and achieving S&T and ICT aimed at public welfare. Those are 5 strategies to implement creative economy. In addition, MSIP propose concrete indicators to be achieved during the new government period. For example, through fostering environment for creative economy, they expect job creation up to more additional 400,000 new additional job opportunities. Also, through developing software and content into major industries, they expected the revenue from software will be increased to 31.2 trillion Korean won, which amounts to about 30 billion US dollars. In 100 trillion Korean won in 2011, more than 3 times bigger than the scale in 2002. Also, by realizing science and ICT for the public, the rate of subscription fee for mobile phone will be abolished as 2015. The amounts of fee, inscription fee, is about $30 recently. Now we can understand and summarize the framework of Korean creative economy. First, to increase creative workforce, creativity in the context of science, scientific, technological, cultural area will be fostered and emphasized. Second, through developing creative industry such as software, contents, and converging industries based on ICT, we could revitalize national and local economy. Finally, increasing income and jobs, sustainable economic growth, and more jobs thanks to increasing startups will contribute the solution of escalating welfare demand and sustainable growth. I understand. I would like to summarize. That's the core of Korean creative economy. Next, the other of my presentation is S&T policy initiative to support Korean creative economy. In terms of innovation system, what should we do with the existing S&T innovation system? As you see on the slide, I would like to suggest one vision and several strategies to support the Korean creative economy in terms of S&T innovation systems. I would like to suggest the vision should be to establish a creative innovation system. The basic aims is developing the infrastructure for creative innovation and enhancing the creative R&D systems. The policy directions is accordance with the basic aims covers from infrastructure to R&D policies. Now let me give you a snapshot for each policy initiatives. First, related to infrastructure for creative knowledge production, we have several future prospects to be considered. For example, the knowledge production process, such as crowdsourcing, open innovation, will be changed much deeper and wider in the future. Also, acceleration in convergence and growing uncertainty over technological development are also expected. However, looking into the current situation, we have some problematic situations. As you see the figure on the slide, we Korean government enlarged and focused on the quantitative growth in government R&D policies. Actually, in 2015, 2001, the amount of government R&D budget was about $4 billion. But last year, in 2002, the amount increased to about 16 billion US dollars, more than 4 times. However, in terms of qualitative aspect, the achievement of our efforts is very limited. For example, the Korean articles cited worldwide in 2009 was ranked 30th in the world, which is much behind compared to the number of articles published, which is ranked just 11th in the world. So, to deal with the gap between future needs and present limits, current limits, I would like to suggest 2 tasks in terms of mid to long-run strategy. Task 1 is to foster an environment for creative knowledge. Increasing support for innovative and original basic research is needed to be increased. Also, expanding strategic research for developing more original technologies should be emphasized. The other task is to restructure government support system. Restructuring the government support system and its administration in response to changing socio-economic needs and conditions to be addressed properly. The second policy initiative relates to human resource for creative science and technology. Also, we have several future prospects to be considered. Actually, increasing the knowledge production process when we consider the future environments, the decreasing disparity of science and engineering and the strategic diversification of workforce recruitment is important. Fostering scientists and engineers complete with interdisciplinary backgrounds and business mindset is also important factor for the creative economy. But current situation, as compared with the future prospect, we have some problems. Absence of interdisciplinary background due to the absence of the humanities in the training and science in the field of science and technology is some problematic. And lack of professionalism and focus in the education and the training of researchers is also important. So, as a mid to long-run strategy, the task 1 we address is to proactively managing the supply-demand balance. flexible career management based on interdisciplinary education will be too desirable. And expanding academic industrial exchange by encouraging companies and changing the funding structure for universities is needed to expand. Second task is to support the flexibility of researchers' career management. The laws and the systems to be promote exchange among researchers is to be reformed. Now, the third creative policy initiative is related to creative-oriented IP systems. Future prospect, I guess, new perspectives on the relationship between innovation and intellectual properties will be dominant. That is, the hard IP strategy means fostering innovation by enhancing the protection for exclusive IP rights is important. The other hand, soft IP strategy fostering innovation by promoting the sharing of IPs is also important factors. So the balance between hard IP and soft IP will be strategy for many countries worldwide in the future. Therefore, we need to strengthen the legal protection for IPs in terms of hard IP strategies. Enhancing the quality of patent review and evaluation by hiring more examiners is important. Concretely, another fact is strengthening the penalties against infringement on IPRs. Task 2 is to develop a basis for sharing IPs. Knowledge clearing house for disclosing and sharing IPs will need to be established. And designing incentive schemes to encourage innovation to share their IP is also pursued. The fourth policy initiative is related to R&D policy systems reforms. Actually, the future prospect is increasing the complex public needs and the urgency to discover new sources for economic growth. And, however, R&D budget is likely to be decreased over the mid to long run perspective. However, looking to the current situation, the concentration of government R&D investment in major industries and lack of attention to newly emerging industries is problematic in terms of mid and long run perspectives. And the demand orientation R&D planning is relatively weak still weak. So I would like to suggest two tasks also. The first task is to align the government R&D budget with the actual needs. And second task is redesign the R&D policy to foster creative industries. Actually, I have no enough time. I brief I summarize my presentation shortly. Finally, the R&D solution for social problem is also important policy issues. In terms of future prospects, improving quality of life and solving social problems is emerging as core policy issues. And increasing social demand for S&T solutions to pan-global risks such as climate change and natural disasters is one of the main drivers to reshape the future S&T environments. So, I also suggest two tasks. One is to innovate the support system for R&D projects solving social problems, such as developing and spreading R&D project models for solving social problems, and establishing a system for coordinating R&D projects and policy projects. Finally, the other task is to increase contribution to the international society through R&D, such as providing R&D ODA packages and increasing coordinating with advanced donor countries. Now, I would like to close my presentation with this diagram on the slide. As you see, the creativity is composed of many dimensions, such as diversity, openness, collectivity, autonomy, tolerance, etc. So, our society, our country need to develop these social cultural conditions for the creative flourishing of a creative economy. This is my final suggestion. Thank you.